Arsenal have beaten Everton for the first time at Goodison Park in over 7 years. That was a curse, and it's broken. And I'm so happy to report that it's finally done. It is one of those games that I look for at the start of every season. You know, when the fixture list comes out and you're like, right, Tottenham, Man United, Liverpool, all of these games. One of them for me is Everton away because, honestly, I'm an Arsenal fan. I've watched the game at Goodison Park every year for God knows how long, and it's just been so long since we put in... Well, actually, no, we put in decent performances sometimes. We just never got the result. Today's different. Today is different. Everton are abysmal, man. They don't play very good football. They kick you, and yes, Arsenal players are going down and rolling around, and every football player has done that. I understand. It is frustrating to watch. Don't get me wrong. I hate it when players are down on the ground, and especially if it's minimal contact. But when you've got 6'5" Beto and 6'5" Onana and like Doucouré as well, smashing into you, elbowing you, kicking you, you're going to feel pain. You're going to get taken out, and it's so disturbing and disruptive. It's so frustrating. But we've got a lot to talk about today. Raya getting his first start for Arsenal, his debut. Why? Why did Raya start today? It's an interesting topic, isn't it? It's not very common for there to be two goalkeepers that are, let's face it, equally as good. Most teams have their set goalkeeper and then a backup, and that's what Arsenal have had for God knows how long. And all of a sudden, it's genuinely going to be a question now every game: who starts in goal? Who's doing better in training? I think is what it comes down to. I've heard that Raya is surprising a lot of people more than they thought at how good he is. His distribution today is... It's like having a central midfielder in goal. It's actually insane. He had a very, very good debut. Almost the highest rated player on the pitch, right? I think Trossard got the highest rating. He came on for an injured Martinelli, and his goal, beautiful. And that was my chair squeaking. I didn't just fart, I promise. Okay, I would own up to that. Martinelli scored what looked like a perfectly legit goal to me. You can see it here, goal ruled out, offside. It's frustrating because the rules don't seem to make sense for some decisions, and then they make sense for others, and no one really knows what's going on half the time. The ball very clearly took a deflection as it made its way to Nketiah. And then obviously the move continued and we scored, and it just stinks. And the angle they used for the lines, and it's like at the Emirates with Man United all over again, isn't it? The whole angle thing. And the thing is, when you're drawing these lines, when you're seeing the moment they pause the play to then draw the lines, is it the moment? Is it the moment the pass is made? You've got to remember there's a lot of human error involved in VAR as well. And I do wonder if... Okay, sure, Nketiah is technically offside there, but how hasn't that been ruled onside? Because it wasn't a pass to Nketiah. It wasn't. You can see in the replay, I think it was Gabriel, he's hit it to the right, and it's deflected off Beto, I think, and it's gone straight down the middle. It's completely changed direction, so I don't agree with it. And if it's an illegal goal, despite that, then fair enough. Why isn't that being called for every other incident like this over the years? The rules are just so complicated these days. Really pleased with White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko was really good. It'll be nice to see him get a full game sometime soon. Vieira really impressed me. Took his chance today. Really, really good game from him. We lost a lot of composure when he went off. I thought Vieira, he's not a physically... daunting player. You know, you're not going to be looking at Vieira on the ball and going, oh God, here we go. I guess you could in the way that he's going to find a pass. He's going to maybe weave his way through you, but he's not a physical player. And it just felt like as soon as he went off, we weren't holding up the ball in midfield as well. Rice didn't have an option all the time. Ødegaard was providing space, but then you need someone to do it on the left. And I think when Havertz came on, we did lose a little bit of that, but then we gained the physicality, the height, and yeah, we've got options. Look at the bench. The bench is ridiculous today. Reece Nelson didn't come on. Smith Rowe, Jorginho, Kivior, Ramsdale. What is this strength? Oh, it's good days. It's good days to be an Arsenal fan. Martin Ødegaard, as always, captain's performance, leading the way. It's not a high rating, but honestly, he was flawless again. Saka really well played down the right side, and Nketiah was a little bit quiet. Yeah, technically he was offside in the build up to the goal, but I don't think it should have been given offside. We talked about Martinelli, but we do need to talk about Trossard, who saw his goal for Belgium midweek. Oh my God. This goal was equally, well, maybe not as good, but the technique to just guide the ball to the far post and in on his weaker left foot as well. Just one of the best finishes of the season so far that I've seen from an Arsenal player. He's just so good at that. He did it in pre-season as well. And I love Trossard. And actually, I've got a tweet. Is it this one? Yeah, look. Trossard for 21 million instead of Mudryk for 100. Biggest blessing in disguise I've ever seen. The thing is, Trossard is a lot older. And we know he's at the peak of his powers. He's not going to improve beyond this, per se. Whereas Mudryk, whilst he's still struggling, we saw it today against Bournemouth with Chelsea, he still isn't a £100 million player, but I still believe there is a very good player in there. And I would still take Mudryk at Arsenal 100%. Not for 100 million, but I would. But he's not wrong, Patrick. You're right. Trossard is a steal. How did we get him so cheap? Jesus came on and he's just annoying, isn't he? He causes issues. I talked about Kai, and Tomiyasu didn't really have to do too much. I'm surprised that we're not using a fifth sub, and I would have loved Smith Rowe to come on. I'm so sick of not seeing Smith Rowe. When are we going to get some game time from him? But let's throw some tweets at you guys. Opta Joe put out 12. Arsenal have kept 12 away clean sheets in the Premier League since the start of last season, which is 5 more than Fulham or Man City, who are joint second. Do you realise just how remarkable our away record is? I remember not too long ago, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United were winning every game away from home. It felt like no matter where they went, they would win, or at least get the draw, whatever. Clean sheets, though, is not easy. And of course, with clean sheets, you can't lose. It's very simple. I'm doing a bit of a Michael Owen here, but clean sheets mean you can't lose. Simple as that. We are going away to some very difficult places, and we're coming away with almost perfect defensive performances. Yet, at home, we can't keep a clean sheet to save our lives. What is that? Why? It should be the other way around, right? Surely. Why are we uncomfortable at home? So it definitely needs to be addressed, because clearly we're defensively strong when we want to be. It's almost like at home we just drop our guard. We always concede early, and it just needs to be addressed 100%. I think our next home game is Tottenham, right? So be a good time to start. And they are having a fantastic year so far. Fantastic season. Quickly have a look at this. The Gunners end their winless Goodison Park run. This is diabolical. The last 7 results against Everton, we've obviously won 1-0 today, and they lost 5-2 in 2017-18. So Everton lost these 2. But in between, it took 7 years to get another result here. Fair play to Everton, because they're not easy to beat. They really aren't. But talking of Tottenham have had their best start to a league season since 65. Sounds a bit like last year. And they still don't have more points than Arsenal. This is just, it's hilarious. We're in 4th place, 13 points. We're 2 points behind Man City, of course. They're the only team that haven't dropped a single point. My main worry at the moment is we're not scoring enough goals. If you look around us, Brighton, for example, have scored almost double what we've scored. City, Tottenham, Liverpool, they've all scored more. In fact, I think, with 9 goals, Brentford have only got 1 less. Newcastle, they're having a tough start to the season. Look at Manchester United and Chelsea. Oof. It's not looking good for Everton at the moment, though. They're going to be down there, aren't they? I think they will be fine. They will survive, I guess is the word. And I do expect teams like Sheffield United to ultimately start to fall down deeper at some point, although they're already quite low already at this point. I'm sure Newcastle are going to climb, which is going to shift things. And, United and Chelsea will get points. They, of course, will climb. It's looking good, though, isn't it? 5 games into the new season. We haven't lost. The draw against Fulham was frustrating, yes, but not the end of the world. And getting 4 wins in the other games. Would you take it? Honestly, I think I would. If you had showed me this a few weeks ago, I would have said, yeah, I'll take 4 wins from 5 and a draw. It's respectable. It's not perfect, but it just goes to show that, you can have the most incredible run of form and pick up losses, but you can also play relatively poorly, not really show up at games, and come away unbeaten. Because honestly, I haven't been that impressed with our performances. If you think to the Fulham game being one of them, I know we got the draw there, but in some of the other games that we won, we hadn't really played our best football, yet we're unbeaten. And I look at Chelsea and even Man United not Man United, but Newcastle, they haven't played badly. I think Chelsea at times have played pretty well, and they're just not getting the results. That could have been us. So I think we take the 13 points out of 15. We go into the Champions League. The Champions League on Wednesday. I cannot wait for that. To hear the anthem, the champions. I will be live for that one, hopefully. And then, of course, the following Sunday, North London derby against Tottenham. Be there, guys. It's going to be a massive game. 2 teams in form. We need to show them who's boss.